Hi, welcome to Joining the Conversation. I'm Mia Hewett, and today we are talking in our series of Inside the Minds of Leaders, and I am honored to have with me Daniel Puder. He is the undefeated MMA fighter, the WWE's $1 million Tough Enough champion, and now he's the World Tag Team Champion for My Life, My Power Entertainment. Not only will we be talking to Daniel to find out how he has had such success, but how he's turned his success into significance so that he can inspire and empower communities around the world. Welcome, my special guest. Daniel, how are you?
Perfect, how are you?
Hey, I'm so excited you're here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really honored for what you're up to. I can't wait to dive into what all this is. And what would be, if you could say, what would be the most difficult part of your childhood?
It's interesting how much you get picked on and bullied when you're not the same as other kids. Kids are laughing and teasing and this and that, and they start putting you down over a period of time where it really crushes your spirit. You know, not only was I one of the slowest kids, but I was one of the last kids picked for sport teams. And it was very challenging growing up and just being put down consistently all day.
At the age of 16, you began serious training as a mixed martial arts fighter. What was the turning point that got you on that path?
Right before I started training as an MMA fighter, I went to juvenile hall.
You did?
For beating somebody up because they were bullying and picking on me to that point. And so I went to juvenile hall, and I'll tell you right now, I was only there for a weekend. And I was like, this is not who I want to be around the rest of my life. I do not want to be stuck in a box with these people because I know I'm not going anywhere.
You're guaranteed challenges and you're guaranteed death. How many of us ever really think about that? Like, we live as if we're not going to die. What transformed in you that you really got that death was your freedom to just embrace it?
I hang out with a bunch of old guys.
That'll help you die.
So I see a lot of my mentors are 60, like 90 years old.
Okay.
And so to be able to see how they live life when they're older, they know that their time is coming, they just don't know when. And so to be able to see their mindset, for me to step back and say, at my age of 34 years old, to say, okay, you're guaranteed a couple things in life. You know, having a broken hand, you know, I'm gonna go through challenges. Like, don't worry about what's happening today. Let's focus on the end result. Because you're always gonna have to go through challenges to get to where you wanna go. Some people call it failure, and I believe failure is a mindset, but I also believe success is a mindset. So you can be successful having challenges because you learn from them and you learn what not to do. Or you can believe in your mind that you're a failure. There's only one or the other. You can't believe both.
Okay, so you changed your mindset, but then how did you get it to stick? Like, what routine or what did you do that had you stay there? That you didn't just go into that mindset and then pop back out, and then go into the mindset and pop back out. How did you stay consistent inside of that way of thinking that produced long enough to get the result? How'd you do that?
So I saw, again, a lot of the pro athletes that I was hanging out with, older guys, 30, 40, 50, you know, some were 60, 70 in the gym, and a lot of them were miserable. A lot of them were living in the past, and they weren't fulfilled. And so I looked at it and I said, okay, to become successful, I believe it's three main things you need. You need consistency, you need time, over a period of time, and you need wisdom. And you can put anything you want together. Yeah. But most of these guys never had the wisdom because they had an ego. And so they wouldn't give up their ego to go to their higher self, to be able to understand themselves and really how they could create more value and fulfillment in their life. And but they had the consistency of going to the gym, they had over a period of time, but they were missing one piece of it. So I looked at that and I said, that's not what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be something else. So I created myself and I chose to love what I do every day.
That is so awesome. I love that. So why is having a coach or a mentor that important? Tell us why.
Because you just don't know what you don't know when you're growing up. I mean, I want to get more success long term, more quicker success. And the only way to do that is to have the right coaches and mentors.
Yeah, and you move through with velocity.
Yeah, you're always guaranteed challenges. So to be able to get up in front of people or do whatever you want to do, you're going to get knocked down. Just find the right mentors and coaches to be able to help guide you. Open your eyes and don't have an ego. Give your ego up and just say, let me learn.
So I've got to ask you, how are you different than others in your field?
In the athletic world, towards the end of my career, I really started understanding how I could use my success to become significant. One of my quotes on that is, success is what happens to you, and significance is what happens through you. So the more significant you are, the more you impact other lives, the more they enroll into your life and what you're doing, they become somewhat of a fan, and they want to be a part of that experience and that life. And so you now become more successful long term because you're making that impact.
So in closing, can you give us a top 3 tips that our viewers can watch and actually implement in their lives that will help them become a successful leader in any area? What would that be?
I would say to become successful, number 1 is become significant. Like, go out and serve others. Build your team, build your friendships, build relationships, because that will lead to long-term success. Number 2 is find the best mentors you can find. Understand the qualities you want in a mentor and the fields you want to look for mentors in, and find the best mentors you can find. And it's very simple. You go ask somebody, you call them up, hey, can I take you to lunch? Can I take you to coffee? It's very simplistic. Don't ask them for anything. Just build that relationship and learn from them. And I would say the third one is find mentees. Because when you take that significance, that success, and you get mentored, when you repeat that towards other people and now you're teaching other people the same things you've learned, then it's just being ingrained in your mindset consistently.
I want to acknowledge you for who you are as a person, as a human being, as a humanitarian, and just really what you stand for. You're creating futures for people that wouldn't have already been there had you not be going forth first. And that is what is a leader, right? A leader is someone who's creating a future that didn't already exist. Thank you so very much for your time with me. I've enjoyed this immensely. So lastly, I want to introduce this program, My Life, My Power. Tell us, where can we go to be a part of this community?
They can go to mylifemypower.org. All of our social networks are My Life, My Power. And to really impact their corporations, their youth, and transform whoever they want to transform, that's what we do.
Well, if you have enjoyed this conversation as much as I have, you need to go below and put your comments and share with your friends. Come join us in our community. Sign up. Go to www.miahewett.com.